These people are not the worst of the worst.
Now at 11, a family picked up by ice while trying to get their daughter to the hospital. Then winter shelters open up across the metro area as the coldest temperatures of the season roll in. And later, it is week 2 of Friday Night Hoops. Orlando has all the action from high school basketball games around the area. But we begin here at 11 with a Vancouver neighborhood hit with racist flyers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. Investigators say several people found them on their doorsteps. Our Catherine Cook spoke with one woman about how they've impacted her family.
In Vancouver's Lakeshore neighborhood, several neighbors have been finding racist propaganda on their doorsteps.
Yeah, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked and appalled.
This woman asked to remain anonymous for safety reasons. She showed us the flyers, which we've blurred, as they appeared on her doorstep last week. They promote white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and other racist tropes. She says 2 relatives who also live here are naturalized U.S. citizens.
It's hard. It's hard not to take it personally when there's a lot of heightened emotions right now around our political situation and everything else, and it's just an easy target to go after minorities.
The Clark County Sheriff's Office tells us over the last week they've received calls about 3 other cases involving these flyers. Sheriff's officials say in these cases the flyers, while detestable, don't contain the kind of language that would constitute a hate crime in Washington. So what does constitute a hate crime? The revised Code of Washington offers these definitions. If someone assaults another person, causes physical damage to someone's property, or threatens to harm a person, group, or their property because of factors including a person's race, religion, or sexual orientation. This neighbor isn't sure if her family was targeted or just one of several unwilling recipients chosen at random.
It reminds if they showed up again, well, then that would be another story.
She hopes it never happens again.
If you have a fireplace, just burn them.
In Vancouver, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
A Gresham family says ICE detained them while they took their 7-year-old daughter to the hospital. Tonight, that child and her parents are in ICE custody in Texas. Oregon Congresswoman Maxine Dexter shared the family's story today. She says they were trying to get treatment for their daughter's nosebleed that wouldn't stop. Instead, federal agents picked them up. It happened last week outside Adventist Health, which is where the shooting of 2 Venezuelan immigrants also took place earlier this month. The Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition says this is the first time that they've been able to confirm that a child was taken into custody with their family in Oregon.
These people are not the worst of the worst. You know, these are not the criminals that we were told that the immigration enforcement was going to be detaining.
The family had an active asylum case with a 2028 court date. That's according to the Immigrant Rights Coalition. In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security told us the parents entered the U.S. illegally with their daughter in 2024. They added their asylum claims will be heard by an immigration judge, and they'll stay in ICE custody as a family until then. Well, we are in for another cold night with some of the chilliest temperatures we've seen so far this winter. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino here now with a first look at your weather impact forecast. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Christine. You know, we've hit 25 twice this week, and those are our coldest mornings of the season of the year so far, but I think we're going to get a little bit colder tomorrow morning, certainly in some areas. We're down to 37 right now. The clear sky is key, the low humidity the other key, and the winds, while still strong in and near the gorge, are pretty light elsewhere, and that also helps temperatures to really plummet. Now, if you look at the numbers right now, it's already below freezing in Hillsborough, 34 in West Lynn, in the 20s in Scappoose and Vancouver already, so it's cooling off rapidly, and that trend will continue overnight tonight. See, we're also in the 20s down at Corvallis. So yes, cold already, and it's going to get colder. In fact, we're running 5, 6, 8 degrees colder compared to this time last night. Remember, we had cloud cover last night. That helps to keep things warmer. We don't tonight. So it is going to be quite likely that we get some places in the Willamette Valley and the valleys of western Oregon dropping into the upper teens by tomorrow morning. So certainly cold, but it will be clear. And this time the cold weather advisory includes virtually all of Multnomah County, which it did not earlier in the week. So that's an indication that it is going to be colder tonight throughout the metro area, including the city, some places in the teens. The east winds are backing off, and we keep the sunshine, at least for now. Christine?
Okay, thanks, Matt. Well, this weekend's chilly weather has prompted Washington County to open its inclement weather shelters. The shelters in Tigard and Hillsborough will stay open 24 hours a day until things warm up. A Washington County spokesperson explained why shelters in one county may be open while closed in another.
Our specific geography in Washington County is that size, with green spaces and large rural sections, mean that we experience cooler nights at times. And we also have different thresholds. So that's why you may see Washington County activating supervised shelters, but Multnomah County not doing so.
There are several other shelters open this weekend across our area. We've got a list on KGW.com. You can also call 211 if you need to find one. Let's get you caught up now on tonight's other headlines. Portland police continue to search for the person who shot and injured 2 officers in Northeast Portland Monday. Today, a Bureau spokesperson said out of the 180 tips they've received from the community, 150 are credible. The Bureau believes the suspect is still likely armed and dangerous. Crime Stoppers is offering an up to $2,500 reward for any information leading to an arrest. And a man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after an Amtrak train hit the forklift he was operating. It happened in southeast Portland just before noon today near Ladd's Addition. Police haven't released any information about how the man ended up on the tracks as the train came through. And a Portland man pleaded guilty today to sexually assaulting 5 girls and women, some at gunpoint. The Multnomah County District Attorney says Damani Anderson used dating apps to arrange meetups with his victims. Prosecutors believe Anderson's pattern of sexual violence began when he was just 16 years old.
This is one of the most dangerous individuals that I have reviewed and encountered. I'm just so thankful that these young women are alive. And thankful that there won't be any additional victims.
Anderson faces 45 years in prison and will be sentenced later this month. New at 11, a new center in Hillsborough is offering sanctuary for survivors of sexual and domestic violence. Alma McCarty shows us how it's also aimed at helping provide much of the help that they may need, all under one roof.
It's so beautiful, it's so calming, it's so healing.
After 4 years of thoughtful collaboration,
Really make sure that we were giving to the community exactly what they deserved.
the Family Justice Center of Washington County becomes the Family Peace Center. It's a move that means more space and more resources under one roof. From domestic and sexual violence services and medical care to law enforcement, housing support, and therapeutic preschool.
It's increasing that access for people, and it's also increasing that feeling of people wrapping around them.
Survivors like Yvette Zavala and Lisa Jones, part of an advisory committee, provided direction to make the services here more robust.
I never want someone else to be in the same situation that I was in or find themselves having to navigate that and struggle through that, because it can be detrimental to your future and the outcome for your children. If this is an outlet and a tool, then I want that available to everybody.
It's disheartening to know that there are still people out there that are being treated so poorly by people that are supposed to love them. But then it brings me joy and happiness to know that they can step foot in a facility like this and get the actual help that they need.
So this is our child care room.
Executive Director Rachel Schutz explains the new center will include supports for children, those who've experienced abuse or who've witnessed it, aiming to break the cycle.
We weren't satisfied with just having people experiencing this harm, us intervening on the harm, and then not much more is going on. What we want to make sure is that we're getting to those early and future generations.
Between 3 floors and 22 partners from all across the county, they're expected to serve more than 10,000 survivors every year.
Family Peace Center is doing things that no other organization is doing. They're supporting their community to become advocates and speak up.
Survivors need to be believed, and they need supports that are easy to access. And at the Family Peace Center, you can find that.
And in a time that is frightening for many, another point emphasized by the center: confidentiality. No matter someone's immigration status, they are welcomed here, and their information will not be shared. Christine?
Appreciate your reporting on this. Thank you, Alma.